Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to your May of 2016 tarot card reading. Now, if I recall the reading from last month, ended on a pretty high note. But, let's see what's going to happen this month. I like to start my readings by pointing out that I use a Thoth deck, just in case anyone is curious. I get the cards all shuffled and all laid out before I even turn on the camera, and that way it saves us both a lot of time. Now, the way I do the layout, this is the sign of Capricorn going into the month of May. These cards are from the first of the month going to the middle of the month. These cards are the middle of the month going to the end of the month. These cards are considered advice from the spiritual world, and these cards are the things that will be out of your control during the month of May. So, let's see what's going to happen with Capricorn for May of 2016. You start out with completion, which is a settlement, completion after labor, rest. Okay, so you're getting things settled, you're getting things completed as you go into the month. The Ace of Wands, which is energy, strength, natural force as opposed to invoked force. So this is natural force. Things are going along as you want them to go along. You're not being pushed or dragged. You are settling things on your own terms. And then you have abundance, which is love, kindness, the good things in life. So it looks like you start the month of May in a pretty good position. And these cards are all really decent. But as we start going into May, over here, the first card you have, Seven of Discs, which is failure, which is promises unfulfilled, hopes deceived, disappointment. Somebody's going to disappoint you. Somebody's going to break your heart as the month starts. Somebody's going to leave you hanging out there. And, you know, it's really going to emotionally upset you. But, you know, it's not too bad because your next card is luxury, which is pleasure, success. But it's the seeds of decay in the fruits of pleasure. Okay, so you're enjoying yourself, but you could be racking up some bad karma in the process. Because, I mean, you're having a good time, but the good time isn't really, maybe you shouldn't be having such a good time. Okay? So things are building up. You are enjoying yourself. Even though somebody's broken your heart, you're still enjoying yourself. But it's not a really great thing. Maybe you shouldn't be enjoying yourself at this point. Okay? Your next card is the Priestess, which is a gracious influence enters the matter, thus change. So this is a change card because something has come in to influence what's going on. So the first of the month, actually up through the middle of the month, actually looks like you're having a good time. You're having probably more of a good time than you should be. Still, a good time's a good time. All good things have to come to an end, because as you go from the middle of the month towards the end of the month, your next card is disappointment. This is the end of pleasure. Disappointment. It's ill will. Okay, so all the pleasure you've been having up through here stops as you start into the second part of the month. It looks like there will be quarreling. There will be more disappointment. Okay, but the next card is the Hermit, which is illumination from within, inspiration, wisdom. So you're learning a lot. Okay? You're having a good time up through here. As you're going into the second part of the month, the pleasure ends. There's going to be conflict, but you are learning a lot from what's going on. And then by the end of the month, you have success, which is success and gain, influence, even nobility. I mean, so you end the month on a high note. You're starting on a very high note. You're ending the month on a very high note. In between, you've got a lot of learning to do. Here as you're going into the second part of the month, you've got a lot of pleasure and happiness going through the first part of the month. Okay, there's just a lot of disappointment, and you may be doing things you shouldn't be doing to have that pleasure and happiness. Still, you start out on a good note, you end on a good note, everything in between is learning. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's look at the cards that are considered as spiritual advice. Your first card is Cruelty, which is worry, suffering, oppression. Okay, as advice, it's probably saying, yes, these things are going to be here, but you know, you're starting out good, you're ending good, and those things are just a part of life. You know, don't get too carried away with them. The next card is strife, which is quarreling, fighting, competition. You're going to have that. I mean, you start out with somebody breaking your heart. It's going to be a stressful month, that's for sure. And your next card is the Fool, which is thoughts, ideas, insights, which again backs up the fact that you're going to be learning a lot, especially over here towards the end of the month. Anyway, those were just your advice cards. Now you have the things that will be out of your control. The first card is Sorrow, which is unhappiness, discord, strife. So you've got a lot of worrying this month. Okay, they're going to be out of your control, but maybe you can try and get them in control so they won't be so pervasive. You have the Prince of Cups, a young man who's an artist. He's intense, he's passionate, he's ruthless. He will be out of your control during the month. Your last card is the Tower, which again is quarrel, danger, but it's also courage. I mean, you'll have the courage to meet these things. There's going to be a lot of quarreling through the month, but you still come out on top in the end. Okay, you still have a good time in the beginning, but it's going to be a stressful month. That's all I can say about that. You know, I wish I could tell you different, but I just read the cards as they fall. So, Capricorn, I wish you luck. If you enjoyed the reading, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel, and that way you'll be notified when next month's readings come out. Until then, I'd like to thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next month.